Hello friends, in this video we'll learn the DC electric energy source, and obviously we know that the DC electric energy source is nothing but the battery, or it's a combination of cells, and in our lab we are having another DC source, that is nothing but the regulated DC power supply, which converts pure AC into pure DC. So here, as we know what is DC, in DC if you plot the amplitude versus time graph of DC, so there is no change in amplitude, there is no change in direction. This amplitude is almost constant and there is no change in the direction. For an example, if it is 6 volt DC, so it is always constant with respect to time and there is no change in amplitude. If you see the symbol of DC, right, there are two parallel lines, one of bigger length, second is of smaller length. Bigger length terminal is nothing but positive and smaller length terminal is nothing but negative. Now let us consider it is 6 volt battery, 6 volt supply. My question is, can you tell me what is the potential at positive terminal of this battery and what is the potential at negative terminal of this battery? What is the potential here at positive terminal? What is the potential at negative terminal? That is my question. If it is 6 volt battery. We are learning, we are studying this battery since our high schooling, right? But we don't know the exact answer of this question, most of you, right? So most of you will give the answer, sir, negative terminal it is at 0 volt, positive terminal it is at 6 volt. But it is not always correct. It is one of the case, right? So what is battery? What is DC source? DC source is not absolute potential. It is always potential difference. Means we can't predict, we can't tell the terminal potential of the battery at single terminal. We can't tell the potential at negative terminal only. We can't tell the potential at positive terminal only. So that is why it is not absolute potential. It is potential difference. What is potential difference? We can predict the potential of battery. We can tell the potential of battery at one terminal when we know the potential at the second terminal. That indicates that if we assume that in this 6 volt battery, if negative terminal is at X potential, then positive will be above that by 6 volt, that is X plus 6. So this is the concept. Or if the positive terminal is at Y potential, then the negative will be below that by 6 volt, that is Y minus 6 volt. So this is the concept of battery. So here this answer is one of the case. If you assume that the negative terminal is at 0 potential, then we will get the potential at positive terminal 0 plus 6, that is 6 volt, right? And to verify this concept, we can verify it practically. For an example, let us consider we are having, say, 30 volt battery, 30 volt supply, right? And here I am standing on ground. I am standing on ground, right? And if I am touching the positive terminal of this battery only, the positive terminal of this battery only, then what will happen? Whether I will get a shock or not. Let us explain. As I told you, battery is not absolute potential, it is potential difference. Here the negative terminal is not connected anywhere, right? So that is why, though I am touching the positive terminal, right, the current is not closed. There is no connection between negative terminal and ground. So that is why current will not flow and nothing will happen, right? In this case, this ground, it is at 0 potential. So my body is near about 0 potential. So that is why this positive terminal is near about 0 potential. And with respect to my body, if I measure the potential at negative terminal in this case, it will show minus 30 volt. The answer will be minus 30 volt because the negative terminal is not connected to ground. So what is the conclusion? If you touch only one terminal of the battery or supply, if it is not connected anywhere, if it is floating in the air, then nothing will happen. Current will not flow, will not get any kind of shock. Either it's positive terminal or negative terminal. If you touch both the terminals simultaneously, then the circuit is closed. Current will flow from positive terminal, then through your body to negative terminal, then negative to positive inside the battery, and circuit will be complete. You may have the shock based on the amount of potential difference. Let us verify practically. So here I am having battery. You can see here it is 6 volt battery. Here it is 6 volt battery and it is 5 ampere hour. Now you can see here there is red terminal which is positive, black terminal which is negative. Now let us verify the potential at positive terminal and negative terminal, right? If I touch here, you can see this multimeter, it is on voltage mode now, and there are two terminals, black terminal and red terminal. Black means common, which is reference terminal. With respect to this, we are going to measure the potential at the other red terminal. So what I am doing, if I use negative as a reference and if I measure the potential at positive terminal, so what it is showing, you can see here, it is showing the reading which is near about 6 volt, plus 6 volt. Am I right? You can see the connection. Black is the reference which is connected to negative and red is connected to positive terminal, and the reading which I am getting, it is nothing but near about plus 6. Now what I am doing, I am changing the position. I am connecting the reference, that is black, at positive and the red terminal at negative. So according to that concept of potential difference, black is taken as a reference, means it is treated as 0 volt. With respect to that, what will be the potential at negative terminal? It will be minus 6. So what it indicates? The potentials of battery terminals are not fixed. Battery is always potential difference. If you want to measure the voltage of this battery, say positive terminal with respect to earthing, right? So what I have done, I am standing on ground, I am holding the reference terminal in my hand, right? So what is happening here? Let us see the voltage. If your concept of battery, which is according to the absolute potential, is right, then it should show plus 6 volt. Let us see what it is showing. The negative terminal is not, I am not using negative terminal. The reference terminal of multimeter is earth, which is in my hand, and the red terminal is connected to positive terminal. It is not showing 6 volt. So what it indicates? It indicates that we can't predict the potential of battery at single terminal. Battery is not absolute potential, it is potential difference. Now friends, we'll practically verify the voltage at the positive and negative terminal of the regulated DC power supply. So this is regulated DC power supply which converts pure AC into pure DC. So here we can see that here we are having black means negative terminal, red means positive terminal, and in between them we are having one more terminal, that is earthing terminal. So let us verify whether these two terminals, either positive terminal or negative terminal, they are shorted with earthing or not. If they are not shorted, it indicates that they are not connected to earthing is ground, hence they are floating in the air. So what I am doing, I am putting this multimeter on continuity mode. On continuity mode, the multimeter will give sound and the resistance will be very negligible. So that is why it is showing the continuity. You can feel the sound, right? Now what I am doing, I am putting one terminal of this multimeter in earthing terminal and second terminal in the neutral. So what we are observing here, we can see that multimeter is not giving any sound, rather it is showing the resistance is very high, over limit. That indicates that negative terminal is not connected to ground. Let us verify whether the positive terminal is connected to ground or not, that is earthing. Again here we can see that there is no connection between this positive terminal and earthing terminal. It indicates that none of these two terminals of DC power supply are connected to earthing or ground. They are floating in the air, right? Now I will turn on this power supply. I'll adjust the voltage using this knob. Currently this voltage is near about the 30.8 volt. So I will make it 30 volt, near about 30 volt. It's near about 30 volt. I'll put this multimeter on voltage mode, DC voltage mode. You can see here. So this multimeter is on DC voltage mode. Now black is the reference terminal. I'll put that reference terminal in negative and second terminal in positive. You can see here the multimeter is showing the same voltage, which is 29 point, near about 29.5 volt, and it is positive. Why? Because negative is treated as a reference. Now if I interchange the position of the negative reference terminal and second red terminal, reference terminal I am putting in positive and the second red terminal I am putting in negative. So here you can observe the minus sign. It indicates that it is giving minus 29.5. So what is the conclusion? If you want to purchase a battery of say, if you want a battery of say minus 6 volt, in shop you will not get minus 6 volt battery, you will get 6 volt battery. So how to convert it into minus 6? There, that positive terminal you have to treat as a reference and measure the voltage at negative terminal. It will show the minus 6 volt. Thank you.